Dr. Brooks. I'll start this video by answering the first question. That was, what are 3 things I learned this semester? One of the first things I remember learning was just how expansive the Appalachian region is. I knew that the region at least extended up to parts of Virginia, but I never would have imagined that it would go as far as to include parts of New York. Now, moving on from that, I think the most interesting thing I learned this semester was the Appalachian folk remedies in medicine. During this section, I read an article about a man named Clarence Gray, or as he liked to be known as Catfish Man of the Woods. He was a healer in the 1960s. He practiced folk healing in the central Appalachian region. And for the sake of being honest, I did find some of his claims pretty outlandish. For example, he believed he could predict how many kids you would have based on your zodiac birth chart, and he thought that tomatoes caused cancer. But other than outlandish claims such as these, everything he said made a lot of sense. The third thing that I really enjoyed learning about this semester was that there are Appalachian versions of classic fairy tales. I knew that different countries had their own versions of these fairy tales, but I didn't think that different regions of America could have their own versions. I really enjoyed listening to Smoky Mountain Rose in class this year, and one, I thought it was hilarious to listen to, and 2, I was shocked at how different a version of Cinderella could be when you said it in Appalachia. Now that I've listed off some of the things that I learned this semester, I can answer that second question. That was, did I have any moments where I thought of this course outside of class? The short answer is yes. The main moment where I thought about this course was after the California wildfires. Now, I know California is not in Appalachia, so stay with me here. During this time, I saw a lot of videos on TikTok asking why there wasn't as much outreach towards helping the people in Appalachia after Hurricane Helene as there was towards helping the people of California during the wildfires. Agreeing with these comments, I would open the comments on TikTok and see that the TikTok comments would be filled with horrible accusations about the people in Appalachia. Basically saying that they don't deserve the help because they tend to be more right-leaning on politics. Now, as a left-leaning person, I can understand not getting along with someone who's right-leaning, but what I can't understand is wishing for or celebrating the harm of anyone regardless of their political views. I thought a lot about this class anytime I would see one of those videos, and having this class was always a good reminder that the people in Appalachia have a culture and history that is worth preserving. Another one of the times I would think about this class was when I was at work. I work at a country club, and the members will often say whatever comes to mind without fear of offending, and because of this, a numerous amount of Appalachia jokes have been made there. Like earlier, for the sake of being honest, before having this class, I probably have laughed at 1 or 2 of those jokes. However, now after having this class, I'm aware of how offensive they can be. Now, I can't call out the members on these jokes because I will lose my job, but I don't laugh at them anymore. Now that I've answered the 2 main questions, I just really wanted to say that I really enjoyed completing the other 2 major projects this semester. I especially enjoyed the midterm project. I did my reflection on the musical Bright Star. I've been a fan of this show since my freshman year of high school, but I'd never really taken the time to analyze how the setting impacted the story or just how accurate it was. It turned out that the show was a pretty accurate representation of Appalachia and didn't include any harmful stereotypes. The project deepened my love of this show, and I really enjoyed getting to write about something that always makes me happy. I really enjoyed having your classes the past 2 semesters, and I hope I get to be in another one soon.